Well, hey folks, and welcome to Solar Cabin Channel. It has been raining here for 5 days straight, so I've been cooped up in the cabin, and you know when I get cooped up in the cabin, I get to designing. So I decided I'd sit down and design this. This is a 10 by 10 cabin, and it is designed the same way I designed my 14 by 14 cabin. I just reduced the size, and this would be a good size if you're thinking about maybe a recreation cabin, or at 10 by 10 at 100 square feet. You could put this on your own property in a lot of states and cities that have a requirement for sheds that are under 100 square feet. So that's why I designed it at this size. And I'm just going to walk you through, because this is the size cabin that I would build if I was building one on my property, and I thought later I might build a bigger house, but I wanted something to live in while I was building. Or if I wanted a rental unit, or this would work great for a recreation cabin, or you could use it as a workshop, or you could use it as a rental unit, or you could use it as a mother-in-law apartment on your property. Lots of different ways this little 10 by 10 unit can be used. So okay, let me walk you through the features here. I show this with a porch and some furnishings inside, but I'm just going to hide those to show you how this is constructed, because this is really easy construction here. So let me just hide these. Now this is designed with a full loft and stairs. You can see there it's got a full loft and stairs. However, if you want to do a half loft on this, you can, and you can do just a ladder if you want. A lot of different options you can do in this. Now this is a 10 by 10, so it's 10 feet wide, 10 feet long, and it's got a 12-12 pitch to the roof, which gives you about 5 foot 6 inches of headroom to the peak in the loft. Now you may say, well, that's a little bit short for an adult. It is. But if all you're using this for is sleeping, it's not going to make that much difference. And what you can do is, I would use the upstairs loft maybe for kids and have a fold-out, either a futon or a fold-out couch bed downstairs for the adults. That lets you sleep 4 people up here, and I'll show you that when I get to the furnishings here. Okay, so the roof is, the roof center beam is 12 feet long, is a 12 foot by 10 inch center beam. The roof rafters are 8 foot to including this front edge board, fascia board, and so an 8 foot sheet will fit right on there. So I've made this to make it as possible for anybody to build without a lot of cutting. You don't have to do a lot of cutting on this cabin. So let me just pull off the roof here. We'll hide this. And here you can see what I did is I doubled up the 2x4s on the end walls. Okay, I doubled up the 2x4s on the end walls. That gives you a nice plate to attach your inside walling, your inside sheet to on the inside here. And then I show this with 2x3 doors, or 2x3 windows in the loft. And I've got the loft floor set at 7 feet, so that drops it down a foot. So you got about 7 feet of headroom downstairs, and that gives you an extra foot of headroom in the upstairs. You don't notice that extra foot unless you're a really, really tall person. My son's 6'3". He can stand in my lower floor just fine and never hit his head, so you don't really have to worry about it downstairs. Upstairs on the loft would be a little bit short, but not downstairs. Okay, so 2x3 windows, and I show the loft floor set at 7 feet, and I show this with a 1.5 foot. You can make this wider, but I show this with a 1.5 foot stairs that comes up. Now your stairs have to come up directly underneath the peak here, or people won't have enough room when they come up to get inside here. And then you can see all this room that you have up in here in your loft. You got almost the same amount of space in the loft as you do down in the main floor. Now in the front of this cabin, I show that this has a standard 3 foot. This is a standard 3 foot by 8 foot 5 exterior door, wide enough for a wheelchair to get into if necessary. And I show two 2x3 windows. I show two 2x3 windows in the front. You could put more windows on the side. If you put a couch over here, I may put a window or two over on this side over here. But you can do that if you understand the framing. Now this is all 2x4 framing on the walls. Standard 2x4 studs with a double header top plate and a single lower plate. And the floor is 2x6. As you can see, 2x6 lumber. 2x6 by 10s cut down to make this 10 feet wide. And I show this on deck block, or you could do this on a permanent foundation, a cement pad, or even skids. You could put this on skids if you wanted to. But I show this on deck block because that's just an easy way to construct these cabins. Now I'll just pull this off here so I can show you the ladder and the room inside. or not the ladder, but the stairs. I designed this with stairs in mind. So you've got 3 steps, you turn, and then you go on up the steps, and you can see you go right up into the loft. And then I show this with this is 5 foot by about 4 foot bathroom. So we've got a 5 foot by 4 foot bathroom. Now, you can design the interior any way you want, but I set this up very similar to my own cabin, where I've got a space over here for a small kitchen with cabinets up above it, and then space over here for a living area. So now I'm just going to unhide everything to show you everything here. Take this wall back off, and this will show you how I set this up, my interior design. I show this with a kitchen space. You've got a nice kitchen space over here with a couple of counters, place for your sink. You could put a stove. There's enough room in here for a 4-burner RV-style stove. Cabinets up above. And then I show this with a couch, either a couch bed. I would probably put a day bed in here so you have enough room. Or you could do a futon bed, or whatever you want in here. But this gives you enough room here that you could pull this out and you could sleep 2 adults down here. And then you could have either twin beds or I show this with a full-size bed upstairs in the loft. So I'll pull this roof off here. So you got room up here now you could even put a queen bed in here. Queen bed's a little bit longer. But I show this with a full bed, or you could put 2 twin beds. And you could actually sleep 3 or 4 kids up here. But 2 twin beds, you'd sleep 2 kids up here comfortably. Or a full-size bed for adults. And you got enough room to walk around here. Now, I would probably put a rail along this right here. I don't show it with a rail. But I would probably put a rail along there just for safety reasons. And the roofing on this is... I'll hide this again. The roofing on this is all 2x6 lumber. So these are all 2x6s. And the floor is 2x6s, so that lets you put in R13 in your walls and R19 insulation in your roof. And I show this with a porch, which just makes it a little bit fancier. And I designed these with a porch that is freestanding, so it's not part of the structure. So you can build the structure to stay under code, and then you can attach a freestanding porch like I did with my cabin. And I just showed this little 4 foot by 10 foot porch, simple porch on there. Okay? 2x4 roofing on the porch, 4x4s corner posts, again set on deck block is how I show this, and then just some rough plank flooring on the front of it. If you want to do handrails and stuff like that, you can. So, very simple construction. Again, this is 10 foot by 10 foot, 12-12 pitch, 8 foot roof rafters, and interior, it has a really nice flow to it, with enough room upstairs in the loft for your full-size bed or a couple of twin beds. Nice little living area downstairs so you can move around inside there. You've got let's hide this again. You got room there for a couch or a pull-out futon bed or a pull-out couch bed in there for a couple of adults to sleep. Or I would put maybe a day bed in here to use as a couch. Nice little kitchen area. And I've got room over here. That's what I didn't show you. I've got room over here for the bathroom. On the bathroom side, you've got room for a shower stall. You could even put a walk-in tub, but a shower stall in there. And, of course, your toilet. And if you want one of the toilets with a sink, you could even put a sink right against this wall right here if you wanted to. And so there's your bathroom. That's about 4 foot by 5 foot bathroom there. There you can see the kitchen space from the other side. It's got good flow, good living area in the middle there. Put a porch on it, looks real nice. Okay, so that's what I've been working on. Well, it's been raining. And this is a 10 by 10 cabin. You should be able, if you're a do-it-yourself builder, you should be able to figure out how to build this. You can go to my website and download or look at the pictures. I have the framing all blown out so you can see everything. I won't go into a lot of detail on plans for this one here because I think most people can figure out how to build it. But I have a couple of pictures of the framing just expanded so you can see the basic dimensions on it if you want that. You can go to my website, simplesolarhomesteading.com, pick up a copy of those. They're free. And here's the other thing that I'm working on, which you might find interesting. And I'm going to have the plans available for these. And this is a Vardo, or what we call a sheep cabin, sheep camper or sheep cabin. built on a 4x6 trailer. And I found these trailers over at Lowe's for about $600. These 4x6 trailers. And I decided, oh man, that's let's get rid of Mr. Sheep over here. Okay. I just put him in there for reference. Okay, so I show this design. These can be built and designed a lot of different ways. This one here I really like because it reminds me of an old sheep Vardo that my grandfather used to have and use all the time. And I show this. These are the same exact Vardos. The only difference is I throw these with chuck boxes. I build a couple of chuck boxes off the front and off of the sides here. They're called chuck boxes because that's what you chuck your stuff in that you don't want inside your Vardos. Okay, so these are designed without a bathroom. However, you can put a porta potty, which I'll show you in here. I'll just walk through these really quick. These are shown with a metal roofing that drapes over the sides, so it gives you enough runoff here, and it just gives it a nice look. And I designed these with straight walls instead of the slant wall Vardos, which you see a lot of. The straight walls are a lot easier to build and also allow you to build shelves and stuff in your walls, where the slant walls makes that a little bit more difficult. So this is easier for a beginner to build. So let me just hide these here. And you can see the basic construction. I've got a 2x4 roof framing. And then these are designed. I'm just going to walk through these real quick. I won't go through all the construction work. These are designed with basically the same way you design a SIPS house. SIPS. Structural insulated panels. And it can be insulated or left without insulation. I probably wouldn't insulate this if I was just going to use it seasonally. But you can insulate them. And this comes with, you can either have 2 beds or 1 bed. I'll show this with either way here. Let me hide this. So this can be designed with 2 bunk beds, like this. And you can see I've got a porta potty underneath there. And it's got room for, let me get rid of this person here. This has room for a small wood stove. And I measured this out. I even have the wood stove in mind that would fit in here perfectly. And it's also sold by Lowe's. So there's room in here for a wood stove. You can have shelves, drawers, whatever you want up in here. I show this different ways. And here I show this with the Dutch half door in the front here. And then over here on the side, I just show this with open shelving for a food preparation space. But if you want, you can put cabinet fronts on here. You got a shelf up above. You could put a sink inside here. Or if you don't want this for 2 people with the bunk beds, then you can use a single bed. Just have to unhide this again. You can do a platform bed, and that's what a lot of people like in these. They like the platform bed which sits up. This is for a single person. And you can do this with a small fridge. You can put a small fridge underneath there. You can do, I've got an extra bed sitting in there. You've got room here for, here's where you can hide your porta potty underneath there. And then you've got all this storage underneath the bed. And these are 30-inch beds, which is a cot-size mattress. Good size for 1 person. Enough headroom over you, and nice windows in the back there. Wood stove. Really nice little Vardos. Okay, so I'm working on the plans for those, and I'll have those available here. And I do this in a couple of different designs here. I've got this all done up. This is more of a feminine design, or just somebody that likes these colors. And I even show it with some roses painted on the front of it. This is more of a Gypsy Vardo style. Show this with a small window with some shutters on the sides over there. And I don't have the chuck boxes on this one, but you could put chuck boxes on this one just the same as you do these. Again, these are built on a 4x6 trailer. You could probably build the entire Vardo for about $500. The trailer is going to cost you about $600, so I figure $1,200. You got yourself a nice Vardo that could be either used for camping, or if you want to insulate it, you could live in it. Okay, so that's the other project I've been working on, and I will have the plans for those available and do more to show you what those look like here in the future. All right, that's what I'm doing on rainy days, folks. Thanks for coming by. Go by my website, simplesolarhomesteading.com, and take a look and pick you up some plans. All right, thanks, everybody. Have a great day.